Our next speaker is a colleague of mine, and I know her pretty well. We're friends, and we both work in the sustainable investing industry in the United States. And she is a great reminder of what investors can do and how markets can be moved by the power of investing with a conscience, investing with goals like sustainability in mind, investing in women, and in advancing gender equality. She is transforming Wall Street and transforming markets in the United States. I will tell you that our next speaker, Erica Karp, was the head of research at UBS, one of the biggest asset managers, one of the biggest financial services firms in the world, and she was way up here near the top. And she left it all behind because she had a vision of wanting to start a different kind of company, one that did change markets, one that changed investor behavior, and she founded Cornerstone Capital, which has quickly become one of the most innovative financial services firms, not only in the sustainable investing arena, but in financial markets in the United States. She is a thought leader and quickly become one of the chief spokespersons for a different way of investing and a different way of using your money to advance sustainability and in particular to advance gender equality. It's a pleasure to invite to the stage my good friend, Erica Karp.
So Joe did like this. I'm actually like this. I am standing, actually, for anyone. It really is a pleasure and a privilege to be here, to be invited. Anshul, my new friend, namaste. And I'm reminded of some comments from Gandhi. Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. And that's really beautiful. And if you're paying attention, if you're being observant, look around. Look around and see what the world needs and wants. You know, I was thinking, Margaret Thatcher, in her succinct, powerful brilliance, I believe Margaret Thatcher said that if you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman. If you really want to nail it down, give a lesbian a hammer, and you can get it, right? I don't think that was in the actual comment. I'm not sure. So we need something done. We need something done in the capital markets. The idea of diversity, gender empowerment, it is inextricably linked with sustainability, with corporate sustainability, with sustainable investing, impact investing, double bottom line, triple bottom line, ESG analysis, whatever you want to call it, it's investing. And one day it's just going to be called investing. And it's not going to be called corporate sustainability, it's going to be called corporate excellence, which is what it is. It's not going to be called sustainable capitalism, it's just capitalism. Look around, all right? Look at the fact that we've reached what looks like the limits of monetary policy capability. Arguably, we need fiscal policy, we need pro-growth economic and tax policy. There appears to be some political dysfunction, so I don't know if we're going to get that. So what we need is for capitalism to work to its best and highest purposes. And that means simply facilitating global prosperity. Notwithstanding how we've messed it up to some degree in this last generation, capitalism remains the best system the world has ever known for driving global prosperity. So let's make capitalism work right. Now, a vision is, there's actually two things, and it sounds kind of like it doesn't make sense, but a vision combines simplicity and complexity, a vision for business, right? Simplicity is so everyone can articulate exactly what you're trying to do. Cornerstone Capital was built to finance global prosperity. We were built to make systematic the analysis of critical environmental, social, and governance factors in the investment process. That's a simple vision. Complexity, because if you want sustainable competitive advantage in business, we need some complexity, so it's not all that easy to replicate. So I feel so fortunate to have the opportunity to have founded a company that has a vision, a mission, a strategy, and tactics, and it's working. But I will tell you, 25 years at the world's biggest investment banks, this is scary like anything. No net. Entrepreneurship is like jumping out of a plane and building the parachute on the way down. Is that fair? All right, so you've done it like 9 times. With me, this is my first time around, and I had to pick a highly regulated financial services industry. Anyway, fearlessness and power, you know, and really good risk-adjusted return analysis, all combined. But fearlessness really is essential. And knowing your power. Let's go back to Margaret Thatcher. Mrs. Thatcher said that being powerful is like being a lady. If you are, and you say you are, well, you're not. You don't have to say it. You are it. This room is so powerful, and we have to use it. But we have to get started. And so leaving, you know, large firms to do a startup in financial services, competing with the big guys, well, it's not easy. But I think about some of the best business strategists and tacticians in history. King David, in about 1000 BC, said if you're going to get started, first you need to know that you're not staying here. Okay? Not staying here means not accepting the status quo. We're not accepting the status quo for women and their economic empowerment right now. We're not accepting the status quo for a form of capitalism that doesn't empower prosperity and enable it. We're not standing still. We are not staying here. So if you can find the fearlessness, the resources, the courage, the business model, the operating leverage, the access to power, the access to wealth, the business model that shows frame-breaking change so that the little guy can compete, or the shorter woman can compete, right? Because the reality is there are 2 things that ultimately don't become a commodity. Everything else becomes a commodity with time, with technology. Ideas and relationships never become a commodity. So if you can come up with a plan that leverages the power of ideas and relationships, well, you've got something big. You've got something frame-breaking. You've got something that disrupts the status quo and makes serious leaps in progress. Progress for women's economic empowerment, progress on climate change, education, healthcare, infrastructure, progress so that capitalism is properly governed, so that we systematically look at the environmental, social, and governance imperatives that make the world work. All right, there's a lot of anger around capitalism, around Wall Street, around the private sector, a lot of anger about the misallocation of resources and misaligned incentive structures. There's a lot of anger, and we know that we have, you know, some political parties where the anger becomes truly divisive. Let's not go there. Let's be inclusive and thoughtful and engaging. Let's use language around sustainable investing or impact investing, double bottom line, triple bottom line. Let's use language that is not ideological, not divisive, not judgmental, not about values or value judgments, but about creating value. Let's talk about true economic inclusion. And so what I will say, and some of you have probably heard me say this before, I think capitalism is beautiful. I think economics is poetry. And I think finance can be magic if you do it right. And we can do it right. And so to start a company, my first company after 25 years in the business, it is scary. It is risky. I have put everything I've got on the line. And I know I've got this right. And so I truly appreciate the opportunity to be here and to be with you. And I am so excited. Joe, you talked about challenges and opportunities. As long as we're staying in the UK, Winston Churchill said that a pessimist sees the challenges in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every challenge. And again, I've had a few challenges that we can all talk about little later, and we'll share some more stories. But for now, I am a pragmatist, I am an optimist, and I am a woman. So thank you very much for having me.